So, there was some news that came out earlier today that I really wanted to talk about. I just forgot about it. It slipped my mind. I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing. And that is the announcement of a new DC Comics event called the Dakota Incident. It's called History of the DC Universe, the Dakota Incident. That's the full name. So basically, we're getting more stuff in the Dakota-Verse, with characters such as like Static, Hardware, Icon. And they're slowly it looks like this is their moment to get reintegrated back into the DC Universe. Remember, the Dakota-Verse and the DC Universe were separate universes. That was the case back in the 90s as well, until they used an event to bring them together. And it does look like that's going to be the case again, because when they brought the Dakota-Verse back the second time, it was its own continuity. And that was because of like the Dwayne McDuffie estate and everything else. But I guess since the universes look like they're about to, merge again, I guess those discrepancies are cleared, or I don't know. I don't know the full story of it. But yeah, so it looks like the Dakota-Verse is coming back into the DC universe, but it does, I will say, and it's not that they didn't cross over before. We've had Static and Batman Beyond a few times, but like, look, here's the thing. How they're going to do it looks like there's going to be some brutality. It looks like it's going to be a brutal comic, because in here, the reason why the Dakota-Verse, it's called the Dakota Incident, you've probably been wondering why is it called that, is because, well, the Dakota-Verse is going to war with the U.S. government, and the Justice League are going to be caught in the middle of it. Yeah. So that's our story. Like that the U.S. government is going to be looks like it's going to be putting its foot down in Dakota, and they are going to be sending forces in there, and the superheroes of Dakota are like, you ain't coming in here. I mean, it seems really unrealistic, right? Like, it's just totally an unrealistic idea, to be honest. Like, the idea of, like, the U.S. government sending armed troops into a city full of that's heavily minority populated and terrorizing its citizens. That just sounds so crazy. What administration would do that? I don't think, the American people have to worry about our government terrorizing us because of a different opinion. I don't know if you caught on to any of that, but that was my sarcasm speaking. Yeah. So, yeah. So, how very of the times is what I'm like. That's the real truth. Is that how very of the times is this comic? And I feel like a lot of what we're seeing in the real world right now, what's going on in Chicago and other major cities, I feel like that's going to be a major inspiration. That was probably like a major inspiration as to why this comic is being made, honestly. Like, that's what it really feels like. But yeah, so the U.S. government is going to be stepping in, probably attacking like Static, his friends, and Icon and Hardware and the Blood Syndicate are probably going to be like, no. No. And that's unfortunately when the Justice League gets involved. Now, obviously, we're probably going to see Superman and Icon throw down. It's not like they haven't done that before. Superman and Icon have actually fought before, and Clark has basically said, this is one of those guys I just do not want to fight. Like, even on a good day, I don't want to fight Icon. There is like a very, very short list of other superheroes Superman would want to fight on a good day. And Icon is on that list, up there with like Diana and Jean, Martian Manhunter. Those are like the people, like the top three. Superman would be like, I don't know if I could beat them in like a 1v1. But yeah, as I was saying, the Justice League are obviously going to get involved, obviously not on the government's behalf, but they are, this is going to be a major crisis. And as you guys, if you've read anything regarding the Dakota-Verse, you know that the superheroes of Dakota, they're a little more trigger-happy. They're a little more, especially if your name is Hardware, there's going to be a bit of a fist fight. Because, yeah, Hardware is definitely going to be the first one starting shit. He's always been a bit more of a I'm going to come at you before you come at me kind of character. And that's not a dig at him. That's just who he is. So I imagine that's another matchup I really want. This is a matchup I really want to see because I don't think we've ever gotten it in comics at all. And that is a actual fight between Batman and Hardware. That would be really cool to see Batman and Hardware try to outmaneuver one another. That'd be great. I don't know who could be a good equal for Diana in the Dakota-Verse, but maybe Rocket's strong, but she's not Diana level. But like I said, Batman versus Hardware, that's going to be really cool. Anyway, so that's going to be the main crux of this comic, and obviously this is going to be another merging of the two of the universes again. This comic, I don't know who the writer is. The article I read of this is basically wasn't keen on telling who the writer was. They didn't exactly say who the writer or artist or the creative team in general was, but I do have some hopes that it's the writer from, I forget his name, the writer from Static. That'd be a great pick. But yeah, I'm just happy to see the Dakota-Verse being brought back into the DC universe because I kind of missed it. And again, maybe it this is now the second time this has been done of re-merging the Dakota-Verse and the DC universe back into one family. Just this time around, how about we properly utilize these characters? Because the first time around, after Dwayne McDuffie did that Justice League story of merging those two universes back together, we basically did jack all with all the other characters outside of Static. So how about we actually utilize everyone here? How about we properly utilize everyone in the damn universe? How about that? Would that be too much to ask? I don't know. Anyway, this sounds like a cool event. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, I'm excited for it. It sounds cool. Anyway, you guys tell me in the comments below. What do you guys think of this event? Are you guys excited? Are you guys not? What characters from the Dakota-Verse do you want to see match up against the DC superheroes? And once this event is all said and done, what characters do you want to see more of? I imagine they're probably Mark Waid's always said he's loved a lot of the characters from the Dakota-Verse, so I imagine Icon is gonna be part of Justice League Unlimited. So I have no doubt Mark Waid loves Icon, so I'm pretty sure he's going to be there. But hopefully they utilize not just Static, but Hardware and everyone else. But anyway, so yeah, just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time, Multiverse.